What? A game. If you weren't locked in for that Benfica-Barcelona showdown at the Estadio da Luz, you missed a Champions League classic. This was football in its purest form. Resilience, tactical chess, and a masterclass in making the absolute most of your chances. Let's get right into it. Barcelona, down to 10 men for over an hour, somehow not just surviving but thriving, pulling off a 1-0 smash-and-grab victory in Lisbon. That's the stuff of legend. From the opening whistle, it was chaos. We're talking seconds into the match, and Benfica nearly broke the deadlock. Kerem Aktürkoğlu found himself in space, rifling a shot toward the bottom corner, only for Wojciech Szczesny to pull off a stunning save. A statement stop from the veteran keeper who proved right then and there why Barcelona brought him in. And the tempo? Absolutely relentless. Benfica had a go. Barcelona hit back. Barreiro went close. Dani Olmo answered with a strike that whistled past the post. It was end-to-end mayhem, a throwback to their 9-goal thriller in the group stage. Then came the first heart-stopper. Minute 12, and Barcelona carved Benfica apart. A rapid-fire sequence saw Trubin make 3 jaw-dropping saves in a row, denying Olmo, then Lewandowski, then Yamal. It was outrageous goalkeeping. One of those moments where you just have to stand up and applaud. But football doesn't care about momentum. Football does what football wants. And in the 22nd minute, the entire game flipped on its head. Vangelis Pavlidis, the man who terrorized Barcelona last time out, burst through the defense like a freight train. Cubarsi, the teenage prodigy, found himself in no man's land. He lunged, he missed the ball completely, and then, out came the red card. History made, but not the kind Cubarsi wanted. At just 18 years and 42 days old, he became the youngest player ever sent off in a Champions League knockout match. The decision? No-brainer. He denied a clear goal-scoring chance. VR backed it up. Barcelona were down to 10 men with over an hour to survive. Hansi Flick wasted no time. Olmo sacrificed. Araujo sent in to steady the ship. Tactical necessity. Harsh? Yes. But this was survival mode now. From the free kick, Kaku tested Szczesny, but the Polish wall stood firm, and from that moment on, the floodgates should have opened. Benfica, with the extra man, poured forward. 14 first-half shots, wave after wave of pressure. Aktürkoğlu almost found the breakthrough just before the break, getting on the end of a perfect Barreiro cross. The header? Powerful. The reaction save from Szczesny? Unbelievable. Another heroic moment to keep Barcelona breathing. Yet somehow, someway, Barcelona still carried a threat. Raphinha, out of nowhere, nearly turned the game on its head with a lethal cross that had Antonio Silva scrambling to clear. Even with 10 men, Barca weren't going quietly. Halftime, 0-0. Expected goals? Practically even. Benfica 0.89, Barcelona 0.85. The hosts had more shots, more possession, all the territory. But Barcelona had belief. And the best? Oh, that was still to come. The second half kicked off with Barcelona shifting into full survival mode. Down to 10 men and staring down 45 more minutes of relentless Benfica pressure, Hansi Flick's side tucked in, compact and disciplined, looking to frustrate the hosts and maybe, just maybe, snatch something on the break. The Estadio da Luz crowd could smell blood. This was Benfica's moment to take control of the tie. And 5 minutes in, they should have. A brilliant bit of work from Carreras down the left, a perfect cutback, and the ball landed at the feet of Vangelis Pavlidis. Just yards out, the goal at his mercy. The Greek striker, so clinical in their last meeting, leaned back, swung his foot, and ballooned it over the bar. Absolute heartbreak for Benfica. You could feel the groan ripple through the stadium. Still, the Eagles kept coming. Fredrik Orsnes, surging forward from midfield, met a low cross with a thumping strike, forcing yet another outrageous stop from Wojciech Szczesny. The Polish shot-stopper was putting on a Champions League masterclass, keeping Barcelona afloat while Benfica threw everything at him. The numbers didn't lie. By the 75th minute, Benfica had dominated possession, 64%, and outshot Barcelona 10-2 in the second half alone. But football doesn't care about numbers. It only cares about moments. And in the 61st minute, Barcelona stole one. Antonio Silva, Benfica's rising star, found himself on the ball deep in his own half. Maybe it was nerves, maybe it was overconfidence, but whatever it was, it cost him. A heavy touch, a split-second hesitation, and suddenly Raphinha was on him like a predator sensing weakness. One clean swipe. Possession lost. The Brazilian winger, in the form of his life, didn't need an invitation. He sprinted forward, left his man behind, and with ice in his veins, slotted a precise, composed finish into the bottom corner. A slight deflection helped, but Trubin had no chance. Cue silence. Absolute silence. A stadium that had been roaring minutes earlier was now stunned into disbelief. Barcelona, with 10 men, had dared to take the lead. Raphinha's 17th direct goal involvement in the Champions League this season, more than anyone else in the competition. And this one? This one felt like something ripped straight from the history books. Benfica looked shell-shocked. Their intensity wavered. Their attacks lost conviction. Orkun Kökçü snatched at a half-chance from the edge of the box, sending it well wide as Jules Koundé closed in. The Turkish playmaker had been wasteful all night, and this was just another misfire in a frustrating evening. With time running out, Bruno Lage made his move. Shelder up off, João Rego on. Barreiro out, Andrea Bellotti in. More firepower, more urgency. This was now full-throttle Benfica, throwing everything at Barcelona in search of a way back. But Barcelona's defense, patched together, makeshift, yet utterly defiant, stood tall. Araujo, thrown into the mix after Cubarsi's early red, was immense. Benfica pumped in crosses, won corners, took pot shots, but every time there was an answer. Szczesny, Araujo, Koundé, all fighting like their lives depended on it. The frustration was palpable. In the 73rd minute, Carreras lost his cool, clattering into Koundé late. Yellow card, and a costly one. He's now suspended for the second leg. A moment that summed up Benfica's night. A fraction too slow, a fraction too reckless. Then, in the 82nd minute, chaos. Bellotti, the late substitute, found a gap in the Barcelona defense, wriggled his way into the box and hit the deck under a challenge from Szczesny. The referee didn't hesitate. Penalty. The stadium erupted. Finally their moment. But wait. The review felt like it lasted an eternity, tension thick in the air. Then the verdict. Offside. The penalty was wiped out. Benfica's lifeline snatched away. You could hear hearts breaking all around the Estadio da Luz. With under 10 minutes left, that was their shot. Their golden chance to level things up. Gone. Barcelona had survived, just barely. But sometimes, barely is enough. As the clock ticked toward the final whistle, you could feel the desperation seep into Benfica's play. Every touch was rushed, every cross a little too hopeful, every shot lacking the conviction it needed. Barcelona, backs against the wall, were fighting for their lives, blocking, clearing, time-wasting, doing whatever it took to hold on. In the 84th minute, Bruno Lage played his last cards. Arthur Cabral replaced Pavlidis. Renato Sanchez came on for Kökçü. The plan? Throw everything forward. Sanchez, a midfielder with an eye for goal, was there to try his luck from distance. But even with fresh legs and fresh ideas, they just couldn't crack Barcelona's code. At this point, the visitors weren't even pretending to attack. They had parked the bus, locked the doors, and thrown away the keys. Benfica were probing, passing, searching for a weakness. But tonight, Barcelona had no weak spots. Then came one last flurry of chances. In the 88th minute, João Rego found a pocket of space, ghosting between two defenders. He met a low cross with a first-time effort, but a last-ditch deflection sent the ball spinning agonizingly wide. A minute later, Sanchez tried his luck from the edge of the area, but the shot ballooned over. Benfica were still knocking. They just couldn't find the door. 4 minutes of stoppage time. One last push. The stadium roared, urging Benfica forward. But Barcelona knew how to play this game. They took their time over every throw-in, every goal kick. Players stayed down just a little longer after challenges. Tactical fouls broke up Benfica's rhythm. Every second wasted was another step closer to an improbable, gutsy victory. Then, in the 92nd minute, one last moment of drama. Renato Sanchez, fed up with intricate build-up play, took matters into his own hands. From 20 yards out, he let fly. It was hit sweetly, the kind of strike that could rescue a team from despair. But Szczesny, inevitable on the night, flung himself across his goal to parry it away. One final spectacular act of defiance. And then, finally, the whistle. Barcelona's players erupted, fists clenched, arms in the air, bodies dropping to the ground in sheer exhaustion. This wasn't just a win. This was a battle won, a statement made. A 10-man Barcelona away from home had stolen a lead to take back to Montjuic. The stats told one story. Benfica's XG of 1.9 dwarfed Barcelona's 1.19. But football isn't played on a spreadsheet. It's played with grit, heart, and sometimes a touch of good fortune. And tonight, Barcelona had all three in abundance. For Benfica, this was a golden opportunity wasted. A man up for over an hour, a flood of chances, and nothing to show for it. Worse still, they gifted Barcelona the game's only goal. Now, they'll have to march into Catalonia next week and win, something that feels far more daunting after what they just endured. For Barcelona, though, this was a tactical masterpiece. Hansi Flick's side, so often an attacking powerhouse, showed a different side tonight, one built on resilience, defensive grit, and pure will. That's the kind of versatility that wins you the Champions League. A few names deserve special mention. Wojciech Szczesny, what a performance. Save after save after save, keeping his team alive when Benfica looked ready to bury them. A night he'll remember for a long, long time. Ronald Araujo, thrown into the fire after Cubarsi's red card, and he responded with a Warriors display. Blocks, tackles, leadership. A defensive rock. And Raphinha, the man of the moment. One mistake from Benfica, and he pounced. Ice in his veins, a finish with surgical precision. That's 17 goal involvements in the Champions League this season, more than anyone else. He's writing his own European legacy. 1-0 to Barcelona, one step closer to the quarterfinals, and one unforgettable night of Champions League football. Antonio Silva will be desperate to erase this night from memory. The 21-year-old made history by surpassing Cristiano Ronaldo's record for Champions League starts by a Portuguese player aged 21 or younger. But history won't remember that. It'll remember the mistake. Football's cruel like that. One misplaced pass, one moment of hesitation, and suddenly, the whole night shifts. And then there's Pau Cubarsi, just 18 years and 42 days old, and already in the Champions League record books, for all the wrong reasons. The youngest player ever sent off in a knockout game. Not exactly the milestone he would have dreamed of. But these moments shape a player. The real test isn't the red card, it's how he responds. Tactically, this game was a chess match. Benfica, with the extra man, looked to overload the flanks, especially targeting Alejandro Balde's left side. Cross after cross rained into the box, but Barcelona's makeshift backline stood firm. Hansi Flick, though? He showed his tactical chops. The man known for turning Barcelona into a free-scoring machine proved he can set up a defensive fortress when needed. The instant reaction to Cubarsi's red, bringing on Ronald Araujo for Dani Olmo, tightening the defense without completely surrendering the counterattack. Masterstroke. But let's be clear, this tie isn't over. A one-goal lead is a dangerous thing, especially against a Benfica side that can rack up goals in a hurry. Just ask Barcelona, who watched Pavlidis put 3 past them earlier this season. But if Barca can survive an hour down a man away from home, imagine what they might do with 11 at Montjuic. For the neutrals, this game had everything. Drama, controversy, tactical battles, clutch performances, a Hollywood-worthy script. It's nights like these that remind us why we love the Champions League. Just when you think you've seen it all, football serves up another masterpiece. So what happens next? Barcelona have the edge, but they'll be without Cubarsi. Benfica have firepower, but can they break through this suddenly stubborn Barca defense? Next Tuesday, we get our answers. And let's not overlook the battle in the dugout. Bruno Lage, back at Benfica after Roger Schmidt's dismissal versus Hansi Flick, rebuilding Barcelona in the post-Xavi era. Tonight, Flick got it right, just as he did when he guided Bayern to the Champions League title in 2020. But Lage is no fool. He'll have a plan for Montjuic. This is the Champions League at its finest. Barcelona, against the odds, finding a way. Benfica, licking their wounds but far from out, Raphinha's ice-cold finishing, Szczesny's heroics, Araujo's warrior-like defending. These are the moments, the stories, the nights that stick with you. For Barcelona, this feels like a statement. After years of turbulence, they look like contenders again, both in La Liga and in Europe. For Benfica, the dream isn't dead. But if they want to flip the script in Catalonia, they'll need to be sharper, smarter, and more ruthless in front of goal. And let's take a second for the next generation. Lamine Yamal, only on for a short spell, but showing the kind of magic that has Europe's elite on red alert. Andreas Schelderup, just 20, fearless in taking on Barca's defenders. The future of European football is bright, and that's why we keep coming back. The mix of experience and youth, tactical battles, individual brilliance, pure resilience. So as Barca take their hard-fought lead home and Benfica prepare for war next Tuesday, we wrap up another unforgettable Champions League night. Football. Bloody hell. It doesn't get much better than this. This has been Across the Pitch. Over and out.